I think we just did one of the most insane mistakes I've ever made on a trail. Oh, that's amazing. What a relief, what a relief, what a relief. Welcome to another episode of the Epic Family Road Trip.
In last week's episode of the Epic Family Road Trip, we continued along the snow-covered mountain trail, attempting to get to the town of Elkford to refuel our vehicles.
Okay, so we got stuck again. We're probably just gonna set up for the night up here and hope that it's frozen in the morning.
Keep going back. No, keep going back.
I surely look at Overland in a whole nother perspective after going through something like this, if we can get out of this.
All right.
We're still stuck up here in the woods. We are gonna use the fuel we have and keep plugging away today. Not the best situation, I'll tell you that, but we're making the best of it.
When we got up, it was raining. We didn't know if this would help or hinder our progress, but we decided to remain positive. After an initial winch up a snowy hill, we begin to drive. Slowly at first, inch by inch, foot by foot, carefully packing down the snow under our tires as we went. It turns out the rain had changed the composition of the snow into packing snow rather than the slushy, loose crystals we were struggling with the day before. As we plowed ahead, covering a lot of ground and crossing a couple of bridges, we begin to feel a sense of excitement, knowing that if we could crawl along steadily at this pace without having to winch or shovel out, we could likely reach our destination before dark. Making excellent headway, we decided to open our GPS app to check our position. After checking and rechecking just to make sure, our hearts sank. In our excitement, we had neglected to keep a close eye on our GPS. We were heading completely in the wrong direction. One thing we have learned these past 5 years adventuring together as a family is that it's not the situation, but how you respond to it that makes the difference. In this case, the response was clear. There was nothing to do but to turn the vehicles around and go back. Being careful not to slide into the ditch, we squeezed Worsley back into the lead position and started heading back.
Get out of this fun. I think we just did one of the most insane mistakes I've ever made on a trail. We've been struggling this is the third day now, pretty much 10 hours a day through these snow trails. And we finally thought we were coming to the end of this pass.
Yeah, we're good. We're just following right behind.
We finally thought we're at the end of this mountain pass. We're gonna start decreasing our elevation, get into some less snow, gravel roads, hopefully. But we finally made it like a couple of kilometers without having to winch we were literally winching for inches is what we've been saying for the past few days, because we'd just be pulling winching from tree to tree, literally just to get a couple of feet. We've been doing that for kilometers now a day. And finally today we've been making it like at least 10K without having to pull out the winch really once, thankfully. And we took a wrong turn, and the whole 10 kilometers that we've been driving has just ended up putting us further into the mountain pass. Yeah, and we're low on gas. I've got a quarter tank left, and pretty sure they're just as bad. They've already used the Long Range America tank. We just used our back caddy. We had 10 gallons yesterday, so we only have a quarter left, however this goes.
We had blazed a trail for the past few days, and it was crystal clear that the trail back was now our escape route. We were running 8 psi on our tires so that we could ride on top of the snow, which was 4 feet deep in spots. We connected the 2 Jeeps together with straps and a winch cable, which proved to be an excellent technique. If Vandy started slipping, all it needed was a little bump from Worsley and off we went. If Worsley got stuck, all we needed was a little back pull from Vandy and we were back on the trail.
Look at that. There we go.
Now let's just get over it ourselves.
Alright, I'll be coming through right now.
My engine has sounded really weird though, it's like the fan.
Like a glove.
Driving in the hard-packed tracks was easy going, and within what seemed like a very short while, we were starting to see gravel patches again.
Oh, that's amazing. We just made it through the last thing. When we first came here 3 days ago, we were just driving full speed, came to that last snow patch there, and that's when we first were getting stuck, and it was just literally an uphill battle from there. We didn't make it. That's pretty insane. It's weird putting in that much effort into something like, you know, just seriously pushing yourself to the limit till the end of the day for 3 days and then having to turn around and come back. But honestly, I don't really care as long as we can drive faster than 3 kilometers an hour on dirt.
What a relief, what a relief, what a relief. They did well coming out. We still have a ways to go, so I'm not counting the chickens before they hatch. And we also have to climb over the avalanche. But this is all good progress we're making today.
Hopefully we can make it to the ranger station and get some gas.
That'll be the key. I'm idling, so I'm barely using any, so I'm just under half. So
Vandy, she's thirsty.
Vandy's a little more thirsty.
Skip this corner and then an avalanche.
Gotta get over this to get out of here. We're doing it though. After days of shoveling, we're still going. Wowza, wowza,
Thank you.
Wowza. Thanks, Mom.
Nice.
We made it over with one. Now for Vandy.
Oh! Tell Dad to stop! The back was open! After lunch!
Spice box, everything.
Guess we're in a bit of a hurry there. Lunch wasn't done and we're driving away. Wow, these things came in handy for us out there. We must have done 50 pulls, do you think? Easy?
Oh, easy.
And yeah, for 3 days we've been going through deep, deep snow. What we're no longer rookies when it comes to using the winches and getting out of deep snow, that's for sure. That was unbelievable. But all the equipment came in super handy. I don't know if we're missing anything in terms of, well, we lost our max tracks, that's a real pain. They're back on the trail.
We went by the same spot again and just dug forever and couldn't find them. So
they're way down there.
Someone
will find them in the spring.
I'm sure they'll be happy.
We should have had our name on it. But we'll get 4, we need 4 max tracks. That's the only thing really we were missing. I'd do 4 per vehicle probably, just to be on the safe side. We have lots of these, they're extremely handy. Super thankful for these Warren winches. We have 2 Warren Xeon 10S winches and they did wonderfully for us. We used them a lot and nothing but good things to say about them. We were told when you buy a new one to stretch out the cable. We've stretched out the cable. We might even have to replace them. We used them so many times in the last 3 days, but very, very good machines.
After packing up our recovery gear, we began the drive back to find a place to refuel. In the end, one could debate whether we should have turned back earlier or been more cautious and not gone into the snow at all. But from our perspective, we're glad we did. We learned so much about the mountains, our vehicles, equipment, and mostly about ourselves. We will always enjoy the memories of this adventure and the family bond that it forged while overcoming adversity together.
Alright, so we are very, very happy and relieved. I mean, we had a good time up there, but we had a few pretty kind of hairy moments where we didn't know exactly, you know, whether we'd make it out tonight or not, but we got out and didn't want to spend another night up there because we heard in those elevations they're expecting snow, and that's all we needed on top of all the snow we had. But we're low on fuel in Vandy, and actually so low that we were going to try to make it out to a town with a gas station, but we're down to our last, well, she's running on fumes, put it that way. So we've set up camp here by the Kootenai River, not too far from, probably a good 45 minutes to a gas station. So me and Carol in the morning will head out there, buy a jerry can, fill it up, bring it out here and pick up Vandy, and then carry on our journey across Canada on the back roads and the snow roads and the mountain roads all the way home to our cabin in Ontario. Beautiful little village of Canal Flats, BC. What a neat town, right on the river. We are now full of gas in the auxiliary tank and the main tank, which feels great. We've got 25 liters of gas on the roof for the kids, for Vandy. And now we're driving back to this absolutely beautiful countryside. Check it out. Boy. Precious fuel.
Stay tuned for next week's episode of the Epic Family Road Trip as we jump on the Trans-Canada Highway and head east to our cabin on the lake.
And in the meantime, we'll see you down the road.
Bye.